All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle live pre-New session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And as always, we're so happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in this Forex market. So without further ado, uh, eliminate all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. If everybody can hear me loud and clear, quick sound check. Drop me a one in the chat. Let me know that you can hear me this morning, and we can go ahead and get this session started. All right, Joey, I appreciate the one. All right, see it coming in. Okay, so as always, we start out with the foundation of it all, right? In the Forex trade room, we want to make sure that we take massive action, meaning that we are accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome. Let's make sure that we center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, assuring a balanced approach to trading. Let's make sure that we trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition at all times. Let's imagine our trades successfully materializing. We want to be sure that we are obeying our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear. And we want to make sure that we're never looking back or stopping once our trade has commenced. All right, so let's see what's going on this beautiful Friday morning, right? Talk about the US dollar. It's lowered to around 100, right? So still bouncing around that mark after two straight sessions of gains as traders looked ahead to US trying to take trade talks scheduled for the weekend, right? So who knows what's going to come out of this weekend, right? That should key you, right? President Trump expressed optimism, saying he expects the negotiations to yield tangible progress. Meanwhile, the newly announced US-UK trade deal provided some relief to investors hoping for a de-escalation in global trade tensions. However, the deal appears limited in scope, with few details released so far, and the 10% tariff on imports from the UK remains in place. For the week, the greenback is on track to rise about 0.6%, followed by the Federal Reserve's decision to leave the Fed funds rate unchanged, while signaling no urgency to cut rates and highlighting increased risk to both inflation and unemployment. So, hey, we are where we are right now. Uh, the whole UK situation seemed like it was a lot of marketing, a lot of hype, but not a lot when it came when it came to the details. But what else is new when it comes to President Donald Trump? Right. So we'll continue to watch that. Uh-oh. See what's going on here. There we go. China export growth remains resilient. Imports drop slightly. So, hey, despite everything that's going on, right? China's exports rose 8.1% year over year in April 2025, beating expectations of 1.9% and marking the 12th month of growth. However, the pace eased from March's 12.4% surge, reflecting the impact of steep U.S. tariffs under President Trump. Meantime, imports fell 0.2%, slowing from the prior 4.3% drop and outperforming consensus of 5.9% decline. Right. China's trade account surplus hits a new record. Uh, China's current account surplus, let me see here. China's current account surplus surged to a record 165.6 billion in the first quarter of 2025, up sharply from 47.2 billion in the same period last year, according to preliminary estimates. Good trades. We won't read all of that. The services deficit narrowed slightly. Secondary income remained relatively stable. Okay, so the rest just numbers. So, it's at a record high. Look at the DAX at all time, right? Frankfurt's DAX advanced 0.7%, breaking above 23,500, reach all-time high. So we got some areas that are moving. Switzerland consumer confidence is at a 14-month low. That's not good for Switzerland. Oh, no way. Bitcoin surges past 100K. right? We hadn't even looked at that Bitcoin in a while. 9%, right? What's the deal? Where's the I don't have the rest of my article. Anyway, let's see. First time since earlier series came in. I don't know. I have to find the rest of that article. What's going on with Bitcoin? Crypto traders, talk to me. What's going on out there, right? Over 100,000 again. Tech news. Joy, talk to me. What's going on? Somebody.
I really didn't read the article, but the beginning of the rally before the 100K basically began when tech started the rally. So Bitcoin rally with it.
Let me where is it? I think I had put up that's the daily chart. So that's where we are. So we're looking for pullbacks and continuations on that. I saw it break out, but I wasn't sure what the reason was. So appreciate it. So what's that target? 112? That's where I've got the mark, the level mark. What's the actual 112, 481? That's where we're headed, right? So doesn't matter, different asset class, but right, the result is still the same, right? That was a monster 80-20, was it not? With somewhat of a double top there, right? Right. So we make an ABCD wave, Bitcoin. So continue to track that. So you come down to those lower time frames off the leg. Look for any type of pullback and continuation. Right now, at least the way it's trending. So you got a 1 hour new AB boundary. So maybe you see on Bitcoin, there's that 112 level that we marked from the daily. This is fresh one, everybody. I got to put my levels back on. We can still do some work. So right around that 1 hour D extension is that daily extension. So hey, if we can catch a pullback on Bitcoin, uh, right, we keep rocking and rolling. That's a 1 hour chart. All right, trying to get to the daily. Let me see. Somebody wants to investigate Trump coin. I think everybody, I, probably everybody that lost their money wants an investigation on Trump coin. I listened this time and bought the NAS 100 trailing my stop because I think it's a drop coming. Oh, great work, great work, great work. Drop some sevens in the chat for Reese. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got a little bit of get some action going on now, right? It takes a minute for the market to start to like say, okay, these are the conditions. What can we do? What can't we do? And try to make something happen, right? So regardless of, if there's more uncertainty than people would like, market participants would like, at some point they're like, oh, you gotta figure out how to make some money. Let's take some shots at a couple of, you know, trade ideas, right? And so we got some movement. So Bitcoin, we just have to find where it's at, right? Where that movement's at. So there we go on that. So that's Bitcoin. What else fundamentally? Personal spending rises in Japan the most in 3 months. All right. All right. Okay, Japan. Spending the money. Let me see here. Take a look at gold. Hovering around 33.20 on Friday, holding on to losses from recent sessions, optimism over U.S. trade talks, then at the appeal of the safe haven asset. All right. So we've seen that. All right. Well, we went over a lot yesterday regarding 80/20s and things like that. So this morning, out the gate, as I often do on Fridays, do any of you have any pairs right away that you want to take a look at? Look at the price action on. Oh yeah, Joy, right? We talk about that, how, the world is, hey, we're moving outside and around the United States. All right, Tyrone, I got you. Uh, okay. Joy, so that's the pound in NZD and the Aussie NZD.
Yes, sir.
All right. Long EA 30 minute. You know, Reese, I've been sitting up for a minute on that on that I needed to get long, right? On that long 4 hour on that 4 hour play for EA. All right. So let's tap into some things. So let's look at pound Aussie. Daily, that's looking good, right? So we built the case a while ago in regards to, looking at the Australian dollar, and we did a lesson on that and what can cause that to continue to go bearish, right? And we know that that Aussie can move like, so when you go from a risk off to a risk on situation, an Aussie is a commodity currency, so you can see it move to the upside. But the longer term perspective, as far as what's going on domestically in Australia, right, um, has a bearish tone to it, right? So we've been seeing we see rallies and then we see a decline, right? Which means it's creating those waves that we talk about. So I'm still, you know, fairly bearish, when it comes to the Australian dollar. And so on the daily right here on this GA, hey, listen, you're in your buy zone there, okay? You got a stochastic in the buy zone, and you've got a low that's formed, right? At this level. Okay. So from a daily standpoint, it's looking like a really nice U-turn right now on this pound Aussie. We got some optimism around the United States and the UK talks or whatever. Uh, Nothing explosive there, but I guess everybody's happy that it doesn't look like, you know, any further escalation, right? That 10% tariff deal idea from the administration, I think is gonna stay pretty much everywhere. But I guess people are optimistic that it's not gonna get worse in regards to that. But you never know. You never know. Pound Aussie 820 sell on the 1 hour. Take a look at it. Right. But overall, if you're long term, you like the daily chart, that's in your strike zone there. Right? That's in your strike zone. Trade that. 4 hour. What are we doing here? Right? This one is yeah. So we're getting this U-turn on the 4. Soon, because this is headed down in stochastic, you will have a daily stochastic and a 4 hour stochastic that's going to be aligned. And this will soon approach and move into our buy zone. And we saw where the daily was already. So we'll see how that continues to progress. We got price to hold there. We'll see it here on the 1. It's a 30-minute, I'm sorry. There we go. Now we've got play this out to reverse. So we had taken out our A's on that deep correction. Uh, so let's clean this up. Good. All right. Because we think a lot oftentimes like, hey, which way do I want to deploy my fibs, well, if you come from your top down, it can help you figure it out, right? On the daily chart, it's looking like it's trying to make a U-turn. The 4 hour is looking like it's trying to make a U-turn to the upside. So we're gonna go ahead and deploy our fibs in an upward direction, right? And so you say you're in this 80-20 sell right here on the one. So we'll see if that holds, right? That's a monster U-turn and rejection off this bullish candle. Right. So I'm interested to see what happens there, Reese. Maybe it holds up, maybe it continues because of those trade talks with the UK. Like maybe we're getting some good momentum off of that. Anything that's more we got barely spoke this morning. Let me see. Commitment to the 2% target. Inflation target is unwavering. It's good to have diversity views NPC. We will exploring risk of the baseline and accommodating different views of the committee. The latest choice of the BOE scenarios does not mean inflation risk skewed in one direction. It does not mean inflation risk is skewed in one direction. Giving me too much there. So where we could maybe it continues to ride the momentum. Not sure, right? But we're bouncing around. It's right back in that area. We got a little bit of rejection there. But technically, yes, we are in the 80-20. But we'll see if what happens. Like I thought I didn't think like with oh, we're gonna be announcing a new deal with the UK, all the hype, the hype machine that comes with Trump's marketing. But I didn't think there were any major fireworks, but like I said, I guess the relief that, hopefully there's no further escalation. Uh, it's what's driving the optimism, some of the optimism with the pound. So we'll see if that holds up. But yes, we are technically in an 80-20. A correction would be nice before a continuation and give other people the opportunity to get in. And if your plan is 80-20 here, all right, gives you an opportunity to actually win that trade. But that's where we are on that. Appreciate it, Reese. Let me see. Z and a pound NZD. So let's take a look at that. Then we'll move and take a look at gold. It's U-turn. Look at that. All right. Not bullish on the New Zealand dollar. Pound seeing some good action to the strong side. New AB boundary. Look like we're getting a reversal off of that, right? We've got a high here. See what happens there, but that's looking good. We're getting a rally. Which means that's good news for that 4 hour 80-20, right? That's still active. So, Jordan, your plan is long, 80-20?
Yeah, I'm in at 223.035.
Oh, wow. 223. 5. And so you're up right now. 232 pips. Drop some sevens in the chat for Joy. Great job. Taking a shot at that trade. 232 already. And that's a monster move, right? If it goes, right? You know, that's 500 pips or so. So I mean, if you're in that Just 50 cent, right? 30 cent, right? It's 150 bucks, right? It's like 30 cents, it's 150 bucks. Turn 3 dimes into $150. Can't beat this market, right? Yep. So that's the pound NZD. Great work. Yeah, go ahead, get fun and stop playing. I know, right? I know, right? Man, shout out to Tyrone again, man. Shout out for that, man. I'm so upset that the fivers, what happened with the fivers in the United States. You know, that's is that I we that was where we got involved with the Darwin. Like that was the prop firm that we really liked a ton, a ton was the fivers. But when they stopped taking US clients, like a lot of them did, because of the regulations or whatever, which is a bummer, you know. But at least we got some folks in the group that could take advantage of it. So yep. That's that. So that's the pound NZD. Let's take a look at gold. Uh, Super proud of people, in the group taking advantage and taking a shot, at trading prop firms, trying you know, to make big moves. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So shout out and kudos again to everybody that's doing that. You're welcome. You're welcome, Tyrone. Let's take a look at these commodities. All right. Gold. Well, quick look at oil. Looks like our oil play 1 hour is making a move, right? To that target that we talked about yesterday. That's moving pretty good. See if we get there. We got a monthly level there though to be aware of. Don't be too greedy. Right? Don't be too greedy. Let's take a look at gold. I got multiple things running here, time frames. What's that? So that's what we're looking like on a daily, right? Man, Fib kind of just hovering back and forth. We got the correction, but it's holding its own though, right? So a little indecisive here. What is going on? Missing. Yeah, we got a little bit of everything going on. What's your play on this, Tyrone? What we thinking on gold?
Sorry, yes. So my play on gold at the moment, I'm looking bearish for the next 1 to 5 days. Reason being is because, of course, we have the talks with China. So I'm just not
Yep,
just
yep,
going
yep.
to scrum some quick two things. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I am here. So yeah, so for the next 1 to 5 days, I believe that with the talks happening in China with Donald Trump and Xi. Of course, they're going to start resolving a few things as well in regards to the tariffs. And I've seen that the UK and the US have now come to terms with the tariff numbers, and of course, they're looking to lower it. So that's good news. And the Federal Reserve as well decided to keep its rates the same, steady. So with that
Yep,
being said and done, the looks of it, the dollar strengthened and gold had a pullback. So
yep,
with all good
yep.
sentiments like this, I'm expecting market to move down bearish for gold.
All right, I can roll with that. Drop some sevens in the chat for that analysis from my man Tyrone. Nice work. I like it. I like it, right? So we had an 80-20 here on that 4 hour. I was trying to track back to where I had that marked up.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I like that, right? I like that. I like the idea of seeing a continued bearish move. So let's watch it, right? It's been back and forth. We tried to recover there, right? Move to the upside, and now it's moving back down. So let's see what happens. Nice healthy correction on gold will be good. Gives an opportunity, potentially make a play back to the upside, so later on, right? But great work. Great work. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes. One of my main points as well for gold, I'm expecting a pullback to the 3,150.
331.50. All
Yeah,
right.
3,150. So I'm pretty much
All right.
run the is
Let's go 31.50. We will. Oh, 31.50 has resistance, could possibly become future support. All right. So we're gonna put that on there. 31.50. I like it. I like it. We'll leave that right there. See what happens. Like it. Great, great technicals, man. Great technicals. That would be a beautiful spot right there. Look at the one. All right, all right. Reese's look at the one. All right. So let's look at our 1 hour. Let's bring it on down. All right. I think I got the right fib on there. Yeah. Yep. Yes. High price. All right. So my man Reese is saying, look, I see a continuation short too. Pull back. And I said we can move down, right? So that could provide another opportunity. Drop some sevens in the chat for Reese. Right? We got some good confluence going on here. Could provide an opportunity for some people, right? And Joy said, hey, uh, yes. 200 SMA. Joy, were you on a 1 hour, 4 hour?
That was on the 4 hour, and I was going to say the
Four?
50 EMA is not too far.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just below the 200 on that 31.50. Great work, everybody. Great work. Great work. See if we can get a pullback and then a move down on that. 61.8, 33, 66, 61. Let me see. Uh, Yes, sir. Got all types of stuff going on. All right. There we are on gold. Great analysis, everybody. Appreciate it. Appreciate the work. Let's see what happens there. What else did we have?
Don't forget that ANZD, please.
Yes. Aussie NZD. All right. What we thinking, Joy? This one almost headed towards the target and double back.
So I jumped in. It was a low that form.
Took you took it
Um,
long?
I took it long at 106.935.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the NZD, I could have sworn when I looked last time they said they was cutting rates, but NZD seems like it's prevailing, so I didn't know what was up. I missed
As
Saturday.
it is.
Yeah.
Everything. No, it's the Aussie, which is fairly weak, is killing it right now. Right? It's got a moving up on it right now on the NZD. But yeah, I mean, we just had some decent data, right? Drop resilient, drop slightly, not so bad data coming out of China, right? With the relationship with Australia. So we're moving back right now. I wonder if it'll double top. If it'll double top. I got hit on that because I moved my stop down, but we'll see what happens. So you're long on it, which is good right now. But I wonder going into this level if it'll hold at this level again. But you're right on New Zealand uh in this regard, right? So it is against that Aussie, right? It is looking weak right now. Right? Data released earlier this week showed easing in a tight labor market conditions and a softening in wage pressures, supporting the central bank's easing bias, pointing towards another 25 basis point cut later this month. Rates are seen bottoming at 3% by the year end, with swaps implying an additional 3 rate cuts for the rest of 2025. Okay, so it's declining a bit. And so we'll see what happens. Right. That was a bummer for me there, getting hit on the stop out. But like I said, can't be greedy, right? And then I would be in a way worse position right now, in regards to uh, giving money back to the market on this pullback, right? If I hadn't moved my stop down. So hey, you live to fight another day. At this point, I'd be almost giving all of it back at this point. So at least you took it to the upside, which saw that opportunity. So some sevens for you in the chat for that, making that play, that reversal, because it's definitely, you look at the daily, right? It's moving back up. This 1 hour on this 38.2 on that one, right? Did you play it off the 1 hour? Uh,
So what
where did you take the trade? Because this one was an earlier one, right? That we had set up for a 80/20, but then it's leveling back now. So what put you in the mindset to take that long?
well when I seen the news about New Zealand cutting rates and everything, I initially went to the basket and I seen G and NZD and I know that uh Aussie always kind of not correlate, but it's like the same news. So I had looked at for G and Z. I was already in that 4 hour. I'm waiting. My computer is up, so I'm trying to bring my chart because I don't have my notes on me. I want to say it was on the 15th that I synced it, and it broke above the cloud. And basically, I didn't do this on like a Fibonacci. I did this on the cloud. I seen the cloud break, and I seen it held,
Okay.
and I took it on the
Yeah,
pull.
yeah. Okay. You're moving in the right direction. Great work on that.
Yep.
Great work on that. That looks good to the upside right now. Really good. So nice work. All right. What else did we have? Anybody wants to take a look at? That was it.
Oh, last name UJ.
Yeah. EA on a 30 minute and UJ. Okay. So let me look at this EA. This is my long play right here. Trying to wait to. We haven't taken out that A yet, right? So it's kind of just hovering, see if we get that U-turn. And 30-minute long, 30-minute for Reese. Reese is long on the 30. This your 50 running right here, Reese? Yes, sir. All right. I need that to get long, Reese. I need it to. So I'm with you in the direction. I'm on the 4 hour. Like, man, go ahead and make this U-turn. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there on that. So I could get these lines out of here. That was from the other setups. So right now we got a 61.8 pullback. So at least we could track here. It's bouncing off the daily 50. Is that where the holdup is? Because I need this to act right. Right? I mean, we still got plenty of room. On this daily fib. But we're kind of, like you said, it's bouncing off that 50. It's definitely moving sideways. Yeah, Joy. Joy is on it with the moving averages. Appreciate you, Joy. And at the close of today, that would be a new swing low here. So that would be a support. So yeah, that's still hope for my 4 hour play. I got some things lining up. That makes for a strong level, Joyce. Calling out that 50. So let's see if we can look at our stochastic, right? So let's see if man, let's see if we can get this to close out, create a swing low, see if we can get a trend line break and a breakout. That would be great on this EA. I need that to happen. Need that to happen.
Oh, and I don't know if anybody else use it, but on the MACD, it's starting to curve up from the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it looked like it's just at the one trying to break up. This is on the 1 hour. Look like it's trying to, even though the stochastic is in the sell zone, I'm looking at my
Yeah.
EA and not smart trade. I'm looking at Darwin. Even though the stochastic is in the sell zone, the MACD, the signal is just below the zero. And then
Wow.
the 200 on the 1 hour is just above. And then it looked like we try, even though the cloud is running flat, we getting like a little twist up.
Yep. All right. So we got multiple indicators that's supporting my case for it moves to the other side, but we'll see because like who knows what
I got like
I
four
mean
different
that's right.
charts. I got charts
Yeah.
for the MACD. I got a chart for the cloud. I got the 50 and the 200 with the cloud. I utilize that, but I do look at that MACD because sometimes that's the casket be it's been recycling real fast with the moves since it's so volatile. So I've been kind of leaning on that MACD a little bit.
Uh, if you get some divergence on that MACD, you know. Yeah, so that's good. But this was a hard one because Australia is so closely related to China. So even though I'm long-term bearish on the Australian dollar, it could definitely strengthen and rally a bit, depending on how things go with these trade talks and the news that comes out regarding it. So we shall see. All right. Any other pairs? before we close out for the day. Like I said, I know we went through a ton yesterday on the charts, but anything else? Oh yeah, UJ, my bad, Joy. I think I had that movement. I think I had that movement to the upside of my chart. Yeah, yeah. That's a beautiful U-turn, right? So after four, right, we get to this 127 because of that correction, right? Uh on the one, right, we got everything moving in the right direction. Expected another 127 off that correction. And then 30 minute. So all roads are leading to the upside on this one. So this is, prime example how you make your money on the way up and the way down. Beautiful 80-20. Came into both targets, and now we reversed out on the 30 minute. So no matter what the time frame is, still moving in waves, right? Still moving in waves. And so all of our sweet spots are working out on this particular setup on the 30 minute. 80-20 to 61.8 buy zone. And we're long. So I'm staying long, Joy. You make a play on it? Or just something you're just watching?
No, I've been riding the waves on this one. I took that. I've been in at 142, 278, and
Oh
then
wow.
I
Yeah,
took
that's
that 30
low.
minute down. And now I
Yeah, yeah,
took
yeah.
another position at 142.96.
142.96. Oh, so you're good.
Going
Good,
long.
good work. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're long. You're long. Made the short play. Great work, Joy. Great work. You got some good entries on that too for that long play. Yeah, yeah. Kudos to you. I think you should listen to the group and go ahead and good thing. Get in the game on that prop side. Let me see. Indices. Nas 100. Still bouncing around, right? So we officially pushed into that 127 zone and corrected. I know a lot of back and forth. It's a little bit of a rally going on right now with a lot of the indices and things like that. Uh, but on the 1 hour, that's an 80-20 there that we were taking a look at. So it's still kind of in the zone. Is there Tyrone a particular time frame that you're looking at? Well, that's where we are now, looking at that 1 hour. At least that's how I had it marked up recently. With all the back and forth. So we'll see if we get that correction. But that is it on this Friday. We will wrap it up early. It's no more pairs. And hey, last weekend we did pretty good with a lot of those 80-20s that we found during the weekly ritual. Some of them still active, some of them hit target already. But yeah, I look forward to getting them all marked up again tomorrow. Uh See that, Reese? You see what I'm saying, right? It's the patience, but is it the Darwin amazing? Because it's like you really get to be a real have the patience of an investor and just hold your positions. Drop some sevens in the chat. 25K profit after being down 90K. Hey, that's the one reason why I like that above all the other, programs that's out there is because you could just be patient. You could sit in stuff for a long, and just let it do what it's gonna do. As long as your risk management is good, you end up in the position that you're in. You end up in a position that you're in. Deb, what's up?
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Quick queries, please. I wasn't on the sessions for the last couple of days, but I have watched those recorded sessions.
Yes.
A point that was raised by Dornet with regards to newer members such as myself. Um, in I watched the previous accountability videos. I don't know if there's any recent meetups. Um, but the query that I have, and I know that it's suggested that we could post any trading setups that we're trying to, just applying really how we're applying what we're learning. And if that's okay, I did reach out and I want to publicly thank Tyrone. Um, he was very gracious. I reached out to him via a message, and he graciously went through um, some of the teachings in a more technical way. I would like to perfect really like entry technique. I'm understanding the concept of the course itself, but entries, fine-tuning entries, techniques, and exits. I would like to see more of that. Because I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm observing. But for me, that's where I am at, personally, in terms of personal development and understanding the course. That would be a great help.
All
I don't know
right.
if there's
Appreciate the feedback.
videos, because it's good when I watch and participate live, but then, yes, understanding the field levels. For example, may, I may hear someone say, okay, we see this on this particular time frame, but I entered the trade on this particular time frame. Um, I'd like to understand a bit more about that, please.
Okay. Duly noted. We'll make sure we talk about that. Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Appreciate the feedback.
I
All right.
appreciate
All right.
it.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. And great teamwork on that, right? Great teamwork. Way to work together. That's awesome,
Yes,
right? But it all starts with you reaching out, with you reaching out to somebody, right? And we've got some great team members in this group, so don't hesitate to reach out.
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Hey, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Friday, and we will get back at it tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Forex Weekly Ritual. Bye for now.